Hello and welcome to the news at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Shine FM Akachi Radio Max Takrady and Ridge in Tamale. Get radio, TV and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, technical committee set up by the Finance Ministry has completed a new payment schedule with government to clear all bond arrears by the end of this month.
Government is going to fix it over time, and we are hoping it fixes it between now and the end of May, subject to liquidity challenges.
Also, research fellow at the Center for African Diplomacy and Global Engagement is cautioning against moves to make it possible for Ghanaians with dual citizenship to contest and hold public office.
If you go that way, any enemy of Ghana could look for somebody who qualifies to hold dual nationality to assume any sensitive position of Ghana and use it to harm the state of Ghana.
In business,
Face Solutions projects local currency to end the year at 12 cedis 40 pesos to the dollar. We've got details on the Joy Business Report.
And why would a child be so affected and moved to tears because of a lack of furniture in school? We find out more in our series of Ghana Schools of Shame.
As
you can see, some of us don't have uniforms. Even me, I don't have any decent uniform. And we sit on the floor to learn. When it rains, we are compelled to sit in this structure. Because of its size, we are beaten by the rain.
I am Maame Esi Thompson. We'll be back with details. In our first story, convener for Individual Bondholders Forum, Senyor Hossi, has revealed that the technical committee has completed a new payment schedule with government. Mr. Hossi says the plan will allow government to settle all bond arrears by end of this month. Investors have in the last few weeks been agitating for payment of matured instruments. Mr. Hossi said an update on his team's engagement with the Finance Ministry. He gives us details.
Our recommended cut-off date is 31st May. So practically, government is going to hold an arrears of all coupons up to 31st May. Now, the coupons going on from 1st June, from the committee's proposal, will be for government to now be on time on coupons. Okay. Now, the arrears, government is going to fix it over time, and we are hoping it fixes it between now and the end of May, subject to liquidity challenges. That's the caveat in our reports today. And that means that there's a possibility of a spillover into June. So the arrears will be fixed progressively, but the coupons that are supposed to be due beyond the 1st of June must then be prompt.
Mr. Hossi says the committee is hopeful that the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, will sign the roadmap into effect by close of week.
The Minister of Finance would have to now accept his policy consent to it, and that we hope should be done within the week, because these conversations have not been done on his brand. There's been some consultations with him on the sides with the technical committee. His representatives are definitely talking to him, and his Minister of State, who's been active in the process, Honorable Anta has been active in the process. So I believe that Honorable Ofori-Atta knows what's going on. Honorable Abner has been very active, very progressive, trying to move this process forward.
Meanwhile, the pensioner bondholders have opted out of this negotiation and have resumed picketing at the Finance Ministry. The picketing continues today. A research fellow at the Center for African Diplomacy and Global Engagement, Dr. Ishmael Lovo, is cautioning government against amending the constitution to make it possible for Ghanaians with dual citizenship to contest and hold public office. Addressing delegates of the party in the northern regional capital, Tamale, former President John Mahama hinted of plans to see through such a change should he win the 2024 elections. There's currently a process underway to amend that provision by the Nana-Addo-led NPP government, but Dr. Lovo says that will put the security of the country in jeopardy.
I don't subscribe to that position because there are major security implications to going that way. If you go that way, any enemy of Ghana could look for somebody who qualifies to hold dual nationality to assume any sensitive position of Ghana and use it to harm the state of Ghana. So there's a little bit of danger in trying to say that everybody that holds allegiance to the state of Ghana, even if they owe allegiance to another state, should be allowed to hold certain sensitive positions.
Dr. Ishmael Hlovo is Research Fellow at the Center for African Diplomacy and Global Engagement. Now to politics. NDC flag-bearer hopeful Dr. Kwabena Dufo is demanding postponement of the May 13 primaries, citing failure of the party to provide an accurate register of voters with barely a week to the polls. A statement signed by his campaign team alleges several discrepancies have been identified in the photo album made available by the party. They therefore want the polls put on hold while the party works on a roadmap towards securing a credible register. Now, the University for Development Studies is set to form a committee this morning to investigate the collapse of the 6-story building at its campus, City Campus in Tamale. The Vice Chancellor announced this after the university's management team visited the site. The team, which will comprise experts in construction, will be expected to come out with their findings in the shortest possible time. Director of Communication at the university, Abdul Hayy Mumin, said the committee will look into the cause of the collapse and make recommendations.
That team will be tasked to come out with a report in the shortest possible time, a report that will look into the cause of the collapse of that building. The report is also expected to make recommendations as to the building that is left standing, its integrity in terms of its infrastructural integrity, but also to look at whether or not it is safe enough for the building to continue going up.
Now, the quest for 11-year-old Gifty Odanjo to get furniture for decent education in her rural school, Bakbaba DA Primary School in the northern region, moved her to uncontrollable tears. She questioned why they have to slam on the hard bare floors, sometimes lying on their bellies just to get tuition. In the first episode, Ghana Schools of Shame Season 2, Gifty makes a passionate appeal to the government to solve the problem. Features editor Jojo Kobler has more on the following report.
Children slumming on the bare, dirty floor in the name of education is common in many rural communities across the country. The pupils improvise by squatting, lying on their bellies or assuming weird positions on the floor just to get an education. The Bakwaba Primary School in the Nanumba North District of the Northern Region is one of the schools with a furniture problem. About 6 classes sit on the bare floor to study. For many years, the nursery, kindergarten, all the way to primary 5 do not have furniture. Odanjo Gifty is a primary 5 pupil. To get access to a desk, she comes to school very early in the morning. The furniture situation here is based on a first-come, first-served basis.
Just look at us, lying on the floor just because we want to learn. And it's not the best. We are appealing to government to come to our aid. My friends and I wash our uniforms daily because there's no furniture. When it rains, we are compelled to sit in a small structure. Because the building is small, we get beaten by the rain.
At this point, tears cloud her eyes, and shortly after, all emotion she had bottled up finally let loose.
As you can see, some of us don't have uniforms. Even me, I don't have any decent uniform.
And that was Jojo Kobler's report. Now, the chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, Kathleen Addy, says workers at the commission continue to leave the NCCE as a result of poor conditions of service. She explained that the commission has systematically been defunded, resulting in difficulties in its operations. She spoke to Benjamin Akakpo in an interview on the AM show.
The staff are some of the most hardworking people you will find in this country, dedicated and committed to the work that they do. And you know that because the conditions under which they work will put many people off, many people off. Every time we recruit, within 6 months, a good number leave because the conditions are so poor, it becomes very problematic.
And Kathleen Adie is chairperson for the National Commission for Civic Education. That's all in this package. In our top story, Head Technical Committee set up by the Finance Ministry has completed a new payment schedule with government to clear all bond arrears by the end of this month. I'm Maame Esi Thompson. Stay tuned for more on the Super Morning Show.